Well, welcome to this special presentation, St. Bonaventure Athletics, a rewind, looking back at one of the most glorious moments in the 100 years of St. Bonaventure basketball, the 2012 Atlantic 10 championship game. The Bonnies taking on Xavier from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. On this special edition of this Zoom call tonight, I'm pleased to be joined by Mark Schmidt, head coach of the Bonnies, all-time winningest coach in St. Bonaventure history. Andrew Nicholson, the A-10 Player of the Year in 2012, and his teammate, starting small forward, Demetrius Conger. And I'm Steve Mest, Associate Athletic Director. I'm happy to be with you for this special broadcast. Let's listen to Bill Raftery and Vern Lundquist set up this ball game.
A little bit about the difference in these two teams.
Well, it's the battle of the front court and the battle of the back court. Who is going to prevail? We shall see soon.
Let's talk also, Bill, about the almost unanimous Atlantic 10 Player of the Year.
What a talent. It was great to watch this kid progress over his career. A great feel for the game for a big guy. Seldom do you say that. Great step moves. He lockstep, pivot foot. He understands position. They get into him. He doesn't take bad shots. And how about this? He brings it deep and drills it.
And the Xavier Musketeers have an all-star of their own, a senior guard named Tu Holloway.
Oh, he is a special player. Loves big moments. Steps up big time for his basketball team. What a great place to do it. He steps outside. He gets to the rim. Solid leadership.
Now, Bill, let's take a look at A-10 fast analysis.
Wow, when you look at one club inside, the big guy's got to do his damage. Bonnies has to control his tempo. What a way of doing it. Keep him involved. That's a baseball pass. Believe it or not, send it in on the same play. Count that with Xavier. It's all guard control. The attack mode. Get after them and be continual with the pressure. Solid performance from those two, Lyons and Holloway.
We'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip with an NCAA tournament berth in the balance.
And before we get to the ball game, I'd like to ask our players, Demetrius and Andrew, to just tell our audience a little bit about, how you're kind of doing through the course of this pandemic, where you are, both of you playing professionally, but obviously both of you on hiatus. Let's start with you, Andrew, and kind of what you've been going through the last month and a half to 2 months.
So I got back towards the beginning of February. Our season was canceled over there, and I've just been home ever since. They say the season's going to start back in July, but it's been getting pushed back every single week. So I've just been here, just at home, just working on my nonprofit, and then just staying in shape the best I can. I haven't really had an opportunity to play basketball in the last 2 months, so I'm just doing whatever I can to stay fit.
And Demetrius, you haven't been able to make it back to the States. You're still in Spain, and maybe tell our viewers where you are, who you're playing for, and what your situation is right now.
Yeah, I'm still in Spain at the moment. This past year I played for Real Betis in Spain, obviously the ACB. So I've been over here. We went on quarantine like first week of March, and everyone's been home since then. So I've just been home for the past 2 months. Well, home in Spain. I've been over here just watching everything on Netflix and trying to, get workouts in here and there, taking up, a few hobbies as far as cooking and stuff, working on my pasta dishes. So yeah, that's been everything that's been keeping me busy, so.
Well, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us for this and look back into 2012, 8 years ago. Hard to believe it's been that long. Mark, you've said you hadn't had a chance to watch this game too often, little bits and pieces here and there. What do you remember about leading up to this game at Boardwalk Hall that afternoon? Obviously, it was the third game in 3 days.
Yeah, I was exhausted. As a coach, it was 3 games, and those games. I think every game was the late game, if I'm not mistaken. So you get back to the hotel at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and and you have a little bit of a meal with the players, and then you go to your room and you just watch tape, preparing for the next game. And it's that year there were high expectations. I think we came in 4th. We had a big game against St. Joe's at home. Andrew had a big night, went into double or triple overtime, and it gave us that bye where we didn't have to play a game on campus before we went down to Atlantic City. But it was exciting. There was close games. I know that UMass game, I think it was the first or second game before we played Xavier in the finals. They had a shot to win the game. They had a 3 that they missed. So this could have all been for naught. But it was an exciting time. I know it was the first time we were going to have a chance to win the Atlantic 10 championship for the first time in school's history. So everybody was excited. You look at me, I was pretty thin back then. I'm not sure what happened.
Demitrius, why don't you tell us real quickly about, how do you control your nerves as a player coming into arguably, I assume at that point, the biggest game of your life?
Andrew Nicholson, there's
I think the main thing is to just focus on what you have to do or how can you contribute to the game, If you focus on those things, you really don't worry too much about, your nerves, because there's certain things, you have to be mentally set in on, rebounding and, defensive stops, remembering plays, all the plays we had. So, yeah.
With the late skip cross.
So we're getting ready to tip off here. And, as we get into this ball game, I'm just going to kind of step aside for the most part, let you guys talk about what you remember, reflect on as we follow the action.
Oh, yeah.
Bonaventure, definitely not. For Xavier, oh boy, I don't know. Good team. We shall see.
I thought one of the big keys, and I told the team that we needed to get off to a good start. Xavier handled us pretty well in Cincinnati during the regular season.
Yeah.
And they play with a lot of confidence and try to bully guys. And I thought getting off to a good start was a huge key. And our guys did a really good job.
Quan Cook and Kenny Freese, the 7-foot senior.
Really did good defensively in the field.
Now Holloway exploded out of the gate at the beginning.
Coach, you remember the scouting report for the game?
And
the scouting report
in terms of what?
To a lead
big-bodied rebounder, keep him off the glass.
But I thought when they played us in game 1 in Cincinnati, they did a pretty good job on us, and I thought they beat us up physically. Their guards dominated us. Like I said, it was really critical that we got off to a really good start, and we did that.
Oh, I should have stopped that.
It was really, really interesting in this game. Coach Mack, the coach at Xavier, and I are really good friends, and Xavier's where I really got my start. And I remember when I first got the job, one of the things that we didn't have was strength in the weight room and so forth. And
he stood out.
5 years later, when we beat them, Coach Mack after the games asked me how we got our guys so big. And at that time Xavier was the big dog, and strength was such a big key. And I thought that was one of the major reasons why we won. Our guys really took the weight room really seriously. We joke about Andrew, look at him there, but as a freshman, I could think he could bench press 85 pounds.
Even less.
Less. That's like picking up a pencil. And even Meach was skinny, but with Fitz, they did a really good job of taking that stuff really, really serious. And you look at our bodies out there, and Xavier's the top dog, and physically we look better than they did.
Our conditioning was better too. We were way better.
Yes.
I think we prepared ourselves a lot better because they played 2 games back to back. We played 2 games back.
Exactly. Yep.
Some coaches.
See how everything was trying to get the ball inside. And here we didn't do a great job. We should be cutting a little bit more. But I thought we did a decent job of getting the ball inside to Andrew at the beginning of the game. That was an emphasis. Play inside out.
Mark Schmidt getting on his team, to Quan Cook in particular.
They were packing the paint, though.
Yeah, we needed to hit some shots, and we didn't do a great. See how they're playing Quan? They're really packing it all in, and we started hitting some shots.
Well, they did a nice job getting at the spots. Pretty good team standing them up. Yeah,
we're getting the ball, but we're just not moving well enough right now. And I think a little bit has to do with nerves, and but defensively we're doing a decent job keeping them, above the foul line. And I think with Andrew and Quan, the size that they had, really affected.
Yeah,
Here it comes. Thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up.
We controlling the tempo though.
Yeah, we're doing a good job. You know,
Oh, yeah. Loading up.
see how they're we're going to swing it? That's it. Here's the shot.
Knockdown.
That's it. That's what we needed to do because, you know, everything was double teaming Andrew and, you know, get that ball swung.
At the other end, they force the pace. Well, Wells is
Could
something
be me.
There you go. Back. He runs into the lane with great float. Great positions.
See, you turn it over there, you know, and that's when they're really good.
And he almost turns
Makes
it over.
hustles back like he always does.
To get back.
But one of the keys too is not turning the ball over because, you know, as we said earlier, they were lethal in the open court. Those two, Lyons and Holloway, were, you know, probably the best backcourt in the Atlantic 10 that year.
Proof. 3-2 in the early going. There's Mark Lyons, who dagger 3 to secure the win yesterday.
So we didn't play any zone. He played all man to man.
Straight man.
What's it called? Blue collar?
Blue collar.
Blue
Blue collar. You got that right.
I'll tell you what.
Collar.
I was bouncing. I almost had that.
Stepped up, I think. We're keeping him closer to the basket. Duck it in. Oh, we got away with it.
I wish I still had that bounce.
Got to protect the dribble. I said hi to Kenny Freese yesterday, and I said, you know, you're one of those guys that seems.
As that game goes along, Kenny Freese starts to be afraid to shoot Andrew.
I know. I was erasing all his shots, man. Move. Ooh.
Diving kick.
Hey.
Gathers. You know, I thought, like I said, we got off to a really good start. You know, as this, you know, we get up by whatever, double digits. And defensively, I thought we did a good job. The guards did a good job keeping the ball in front.
Oh, yeah. We did a great job on defense.
Yes.
When I watched.
Us there. And like many
We
others.
had a rhythm,
Stretching
too.
the screen. Even Quan coming over and helping there.
Controlling the boards, man.
Yeah, but Bonnie's was always a great basketball program because with this big guy, it reminds everybody of Lanier. Not the play, but just the idea of a dominating center. Beautiful.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh!
Over there. Jeez.
Not one call, eh?
Getting them
Have
shots up.
to get fouled.
That was an unusual shot, huh?
We get the respect of the referees as this game goes along.
Yeah, we were locking up.
They are really solid.
That's a
Finding
good driving kick.
on early in AC.
So even you know, after the first TV timeout, we always talk about, you know, trying to get the lead after the, you know, into the first TV timeout. Even though, you know, we're up by 1, and we didn't play great offensively, I thought, you know, Xavier knows it's a ball game. You know, it's like it's a different team than what they played against in Cincinnati, you know, 2 months prior.
I would imagine that Kenny Freese was, I know you said as the game went on,
Kenny
changed
Freese,
a little bit, Andrew.
It's been 8 years, but I think Kenny Freese still sees Andrew.
And it wakes up with night sweats, you know.
But Andrew, he was a load to, you know, drag up and down the court, I would imagine. He's a big guy.
Yeah, Kenny was like 280, 290, man.
Right.
He was 7 foot.
That's the way
Yeah.
he used to be
I never noticed they had two
I
guys.
didn't notice that. What the heck?
Massimino as short.
Yeah, something happened. He blew out a shoe or something.
So,
Oh, wow.
started bringing 2 lefts up.
Never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't ever knew that either.
He was Zion before Zion.
Yeah.
You color right here.
No. You know, I wondered why Rolly was limping.
This action was really good for us too.
He's alive in the national tournament, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Quan, you know, we always talk about it, you know, and you know, Andrew and Beach and, you know, our guards, but Quan was like
Catch by
the
one.
unsung hero. You know, he was the defensive guy and putbacks. He really played well off of Andrew.
Rebound.
Definitely.
Andrew, coach said this action was really good for us. What did he mean by that as you see it?
So we did a little. I think that was a step up that we did. I popped. Dave showed the other side. I think the defense moving. I was just shift them around a little bit because we opened up the lane for Beach or Jordan or Matthew to like drive in and get a good look and drive in or take a shot.
Yeah, we're doing a really good job on the ball screens, owning that ball screen and getting the other guy at the nail, really jamming it in, and pack line defense.
Step up here just gives the ample opportunity and a terrific
That's
rebound.
a big rebound,
Really done a nice job.
I think I froze.
On the glass.
There we go. I'm good now.
Kenny Freese will rest. Travis Taylor, number 4, is off the bench.
Two was telling me he's a big Stephon Marbury fan growing up. How about that? He passes a little more than Steph did.
So, Matthew Wright's in there now, contested the shot.
Here comes Kloof.
Now, this is a terrific basketball team.
We had smart guys, and you guys really did a good job of this is the action right here. Screen, pop, shot.
You step outside, but guy, he's got touch.
A
cradle.
Coach Moore taught you all that stuff, Andrew.
Oh, yeah. Touch.
But that's good action, that screen and pop for a 5-man. Say we're playing that ball screen and we're Xing it out there.
Right there. Taylor with
Now,
the loose
that's
ball.
what I always want to know. Was I really the 5 or the 4? Because they always put the 4 on me. And then
Yeah, I know, but you're the 5. Stack 5.
To the year.
we're going to run it again, no?
Much more of a shooter than gathered.
Screw this up a little bit. I think this is just runner.
Right, number 24.
Oh, you mentioned in the game, they run a little bit more, I think, when he's in the game. He's got a meter, really gets out.
Here comes the pop. Say he should throw it back.
Back it goes.
There it is.
Face.
Makes me look good when those things happen. The ball goes.
Soon we'll be at the beach here.
But it's like, we're up 13-5. We got some momentum. Our guys are feeling good about themselves. See how we're owning that ball screen and Matthew Wright's at the nail.
Taylor. There's Cook defending.
This is where they're tough. I think getting in the lane and find a little grab.
You're doing a really good job of keeping the ball above the foul line.
The other end, you drive, you help out a little. I don't know why you're going down on the post when you got a guy who can have that depth.
Friendly rims.
Boom.
Blessed by the Franciscans.
Man. Sweet.
The foul was called.
Andrew, you had made a bunch of threes in the St. Joe's game, the double overtime game. Was that kind of a confidence boost to your outside shooting? Because you hadn't made a ton that year, not from 3.
I think I took 45 and then made like 18 or 20 or 21.
Yeah, they'll say in the broadcast you had made 18 coming into this game.
Yeah, I mean, just
he does have some magic.
I was the time in the gym.
Nah,
right?
so that was a lucky shot.
Yeah, we contested it.
He can
Eric's in the game.
He's here in Atlantic City, 21 points.
Now, say we need
Three
to
people
do a
right
little bit more cutting.
Oh my God, 3 people.
Look at him.
You can get in trouble if you don't recover quickly or they dive on it. There's the dive by Wright.
They're all digging.
Guarded by Taylor.
Knock down. I remember that.
It is. And 1. As you guys know, if Eric hits that first one, watch out.
I know, it's going up again and again.
Yeah.
That is all because of the big guy. They pay so much attention to him. It opens up.
You got to go inside out. We've done this. We do this the whole game. So now we got Xavier's attention.
Oh yeah.
Up by 9 with a foul shot. I thought we're executing, and I would think you guys can probably talk a little bit more about it, but it's almost like we're in the game now. The nervousness is out. Now it's like, let's just play basketball.
Don't let me interrupt you, but just take a look at this, guys.
Yeah. Do I have like a gap in my teeth? What the heck? It looks like I have 2 teeth. There's one big one on this side and this side, and a gap in the middle.
I know your hair didn't look that good as a freshman. I know that.
Yeah, they gave me a nice lineup. I'll give them that much.
Great story about Meach. When I went down to Atlanta to recruit Meach, I didn't even know if he was good enough. All I knew was he did a lot of push-ups. Remember that coach, the minister? All he did was make you guys do push-ups. I come back and he did I don't know. He can do a lot of push-ups.
At least he did push-ups. I didn't.
Yeah.
Nah, every mistake in practice, like no matter who made a mistake, you got to do 15 push-ups, like on the spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So off to a 9-point lead here, guys, with Mosley with a chance for a 4-point play. Boy, what and that's obviously a huge unexpected lift.
And we had, you look at our lineup now, Eric comes in for Shalon, Matt comes in for Gathers. We got Yusu now. We got like the Twin Towers now. Andrew, this is when you're the 4-man. Yusu's the 5-man.
Xavier's very good at screening and getting to the low post and shaping up, and
we're making them work
exceedingly well. I would look at them. They use the big guys.
Contested shot.
No regularity. Maybe second.
Mosley, 5'10" junior from Louisville, Kentucky.
This is Stack.
There it is, over the top.
No, this was what play was that? God, what play was that?
4-8. No,
Jeff Robinson, maybe.
Bearcat.
No, that wasn't Bearcat. That's not Bearcat.
No,
that was we used to run it for you when you were the 5-man. I thought it was 5-in. We haven't run that.
Some put the 2-1 up as well.
We come to
Look at Yusu.
Yusu.
Wow. And this is gut right here.
Yeah, that's good.
25 gut or 24 gut. Andrew.
So what's supposed to happen with gut, Coach?
Gut was the 2-man pops out from the block to the elbow, and then Andrew's on the weak side block. He ducks in. Called gut, like we're gutting him, like you gut a deer.
Nicholson's tough to play.
We have a lot of those guys can attest to it. Here's the gut. He catches at the elbow, and then Andrew ducks in right here. That's gut.
Entry.
We have a lot of baseline out of bounds plays. We talk about them being like the kicking game in football. We want to win the out of bounds game, and the guys did a really good job. Those are the hidden points. We always talk about, like in football, if you can start the series at the 40-yard line, there's a higher percentage of scoring. Same thing in basketball. If you can win the out of bounds games, those are the hidden points. That's how you win close games.
Right, that made that entry pass, by the way. They do a nice job exchanging sides of the floor.
And it's Mosley at the point now. Nicholson.
Here comes another set.
Robinson.
That thumbs up. Is that pop for the 4-man? Dribble handoff.
Look at this.
Man,
double dribble, I think. He had 3, whatever you want.
Well, he
did
seconds.
UC was a big part of this. He played by 10 minutes a game.
What a night.
He was a big part of it. That's how, like dead ball stuff, you try to run plays like that, stuff that you think is going to work against an aggressive
Bonaventure turnovers. Xavier only 1, but they've been frigid from the floor. 3 of 13.
There it is. Block number 1.
Block.
He is amazing. The strength he goes to the rim.
I think that was about block number 3 or 4, actually. But
I think I froze. Sorry.
Traffic for him. Otherwise, he can make those. That's his game.
There we go.
And shoot. Redford.
Brad Redford misfires.
He peps them up, though. Rings the bell quickly.
Chris Johnson.
Oh,
offense.
Bad call.
We've been talking about
Jeez.
What do you have
Bad
to do?
call.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Just good use of the dribble. Play
Bad
out.
That's the second foul too. I forgot Chris got in a foul trouble.
Yeah. You come back in.
Sell it, you get
Chris
it.
only played like 6 or 7 minutes this game.
Yeah.
This year they were flops.
And you probably invested in all of them.
Of course. You know me well.
Oh, you're so cultured, I can imagine.
Oh, goodness. Deep Davis is now on the floor for Xavier, wearing number 0. Kenny Freese.
Good job. Yusu helps there.
Really, they didn't get the ball to the top, and they move him away. He wants everybody to
Coach, would you say that there's a difference in college basketball from this game to now? On like how it's played?
Yes. Yes.
What's the difference?
Yeah, this is more physical.
D. Davis.
Now everything's a foul. Anytime you touch the guy. Seriously, now it's like everything's a foul. Here they let you play.
Yeah, no, they definitely let us play.
That's a great Screen by Andrew, pull up by Matthew. Yeah, they let us play more now. I think back then, now it's, everything's a foul. I think.
Lions, Redford.
I wish we could play this right now. Jesus.
See the help by Meach?
That's the 5 on the floor.
Pack line.
Pack line D. Pack line. He did a really good job of controlling tempo.
Of the first.
Here comes another set.
Bonaventure's history. He was superb.
Here's that Pistons action. This is quick hit.
Players. Yeah.
Right? Meach is going to come off, hit Andrew. We're going to try to get a dunk.
Great program.
Yeah.
Jimmy Satlin as well.
I actually had a lineup too. That's crazy. Look at that.
Shout out Tyrone.
Word.
All of it, baby.
Barbershop.
Against Mosley, the
Here's
junior.
cross screen, down screen, triangle game.
His
So
dribble.
shoot it.
Has to. Nicholson. Holloway comes back. Maybe they help.
There it is.
Going to be called.
Veteran play right there, Andrew.
Hell yeah.
Second. Well, you throw a lot of different guys at
Keep
him.
your hands out the cookie jar.
Exactly.
Don't put your hands in there. I'm sleeping up.
You look like you're 12 years old there.
I do?
Look at that face.
Oh, man. I'm so skinny.
Like,
True, the
I wish
next
I could
day.
play myself like right now. I would destroy me.
how much did you weigh? 230?
I was 230, yeah. I was 230.
John
You look
McGraw,
like
How much are you now?
baseball.
253.
The Yankees in the 20s.
I'll check you out.
I
Peanuts.
know.
Yeah, we're able to rotate you out.
Rest of one.
Yeah, I need a break.
Give him that rest. So it's the bigs.
You know, I think I know why I had so much legs. Because I remember I was talking to Mark Bartlesby this time, and he said, after games, you should make your own ice tub in your hotel room.
Yeah.
And I started doing that. So I did that the night before, and I was like, oh my God, this actually works.
See that?
Get a water settle.
Still a contestant.
Make him, but I'd like to see the bigs get a few opportunities inside. Freeze can do some good. 8-0.
They thought we were asleep.
We got their attention.
I think our epiphany happened like around the time we played like LaSalle. At LaSalle, and we won that game.
Uh-huh.
That's when we really were like we had this rhythm. I can't even explain it. It was like everybody knew their job. Everybody did their job. And we went into games with confidence. We're like, man, we're going to win this.
Yeah. I think you're right. We found out.
Our mojo.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
St. Bonaventure, and fueled in part by
The other part about getting off to this lead and controlling the first half is the crowd is engaged. They just had a good crowd shot there. And, of course, we had a great crowd down there for the finals, you would expect. And you guys
Unbelievable. That was Piston 2, nail 1 right there.
Yep.
Oh, I got to send that to Matthew. That was a tough pass.
Yes. Piston 2, nail 1 coming out of a timeout. But you're right, Messi. The fans were unbelievable.
unless they jack it late.
I guess after every game, they jumped into the water, and it was exciting. It was exciting.
There's the duck in, but they don't bring the ball to him. See, now this is where
He was just doing a really good job.
I see you two working down there.
Hey, look
Yes, he's working.
We're working.
shot clock violation. Is that one sailed out of bounds?
We're playing harder than they are.
They are ready.
Won it.
Here it is.
Off the penetration at the 5. Solid basketball. Not line in
That's
Asia.
a tough shot.
That's the Canadian twist.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys, controlling the tempo here, have the lead, obviously energize our crowd, our substantial crowd there in Atlantic City that day. Demitrius, Andrew, could you feel that energy? Did you try to feed off that energy of the Bonaventure crowd throughout the game? Did that help you at all?
Well, I know for me, it made it feel like a home game, especially like you got the crowd and, I would like to say our crowd was more engaged in their crowd. So, that definitely fuels you. That definitely fuels you, I would say.
Yeah. So for me, and I use this method now even to this day. Like I tune out the crowd, even if it's home or away. I kind of treat it like we're scrimmaging at practice, because if I were to actually listen to the crowd and stuff, I would be super nervous, especially at this game. This is this is A-10 championship, first time in Bonaventure history that we got potential to win it. So I was tuning them out. I really started to hear them maybe the last 2 minutes, or like the last minute even. When I look at the score, I'm like, oh my gosh, like no, I think like we got this. So then I started to actually like listen and hear the cheers. But when I'm in the game, I'm locked in. I don't really hear anybody, to be honest with you, unless it's the guys on the floor.
Right.
Well, there's a ton of history associated with this building.
So obviously, 3-point shooting, obviously a huge key, the key to us getting off to that big lead. Coach, that obviously you hoped, you almost dreamed that would be the case coming out.
Yeah, that's what you dreamed of as a coach, getting off to a good start, offensively. But I thought defensively we did a really good job. 0 for 6 from threes. We've turned them over. I thought our defense was really, really critical at the beginning of this game.
7.
This is cross action.
Right.
Try to post up Andrew.
They play around the big guy. They're very confident.
High low here. Boom.
Guard in the low post area there.
That's good action.
Guess
and
what?
Another 1-3.
So they're helping on Andrew. I think you down screen that backside.
Yeah.
All on a 3-point effort. Lions.
And Bernard, that was a good one, but a lot of them have been forced, challenged, tough from deep.
We had a lot of length. You look at that team, guys. We had, other than Eric, we had a lot of length.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Even Matt, Matt's, doesn't look it, but he's 6'4". He's got length. And Demitrius is 6'6" with length.
He disrupted the hell out of it.
You put Shalon in there. Eric's probably the guy that didn't have any length.
So week, and we're talking
I'm sorry.
Well, somebody has to pay for it, We're talking about getting out on shooters. How often guys run through them, not buy close out.
I don't remember that, him missing 2 foul shots.
And challenge.
Yeah.
As a team, we only missed 3 the entire game. There was 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 right there. Still, we're in like Andrew's saying, the pack line. That wasn't great pack line there.
There you go.
Takes it strong.
That was terrible defense.
This is
Someone's going to the scorer's table.
Yep.
Spoken like a true coach. 1 slip up.
Here's Conger. Mosley had trouble handling it and misses the shot. Nicholson gets the rebounds. Jump hook. And that one's
They were playing harder than them. Even though we're missing, we're getting second and third opportunities.
That's not a loose ball foul. Like, really?
Future ahead of
Yeah.
his
In college, that's not a loose ball foul?
Should have been.
toughness.
It is now.
So I bet you when we run gut again.
Yeah.
Right now, just getting
Wait,
this
wait.
leadership back in it.
Have to.
Essential.
DeQuan Cook, and during the break, Jordan
Oh.
Gathers
Flex.
St. Bonnie's bench, number 5.
Strong action.
And Matthew Wright got a rest.
And a nice job by
Man, I
Warren.
couldn't even dribble the damn ball. Look at that.
One.
Play me.
What a delivery.
He said, Kenny Freeze,
Yes,
get on.
sir.
Let me take
Unsung hero, baby.
Is tough, that kid. Talk about others. How
Yes, sir.
What was good about Quan too, guys, was Andrew, we could put him on and give you a rest sometimes and put him on the best
guarded
post
by
player too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Moy working the left side. Jordan Gathers defending him.
Quan definitely
He gave me a
stacked
lot
up.
of-
Yeah, see how he X'd out there? That's good action.
he gave me a lot of relief.
Yeah.
Good defense right there. Oh, frick.
guy holding the upper frame.
Is.
Ball fake.
Whoa, step
Hey.
back.
Didn't fall.
Oh, yes, sir.
Miss.
Oh! Get him out. Get him out.
A freeze tucked in, a nice
Yeah,
shot.
you had a lane to the basket for a dunk.
How
I know, but he just jumped so high.
uses his left well and
Look at that running hook. Oh, man.
defense. Walker able to step right in, Andre, on the money.
Now Kenny Freeze is going to get a rest for Xavier, and Travis Taylor has come on the floor, number 4.
Hey.
Long jumper again. A rebound now for Nicholson.
Good check.
That's 4 already. He averages 8.3.
Empty side ball screen. They got him.
Oh, so we got to throw that ball back.
Yeah.
Guarded by Lyons. 4:35 to go opening half.
Well, this team plays with poise, though, don't they?
Yes.
Ooh, this shot clock is forever, man.
Available.
Times have changed.
Laying on. Look at this guy, man.
Damn.
I thought he was going over the top.
Rebound Walker. Lyons for Xavier.
Look at this transition D. Not giving up anything.
Yeah, we forced a lot of 5-on-5. They didn't get very many breaks.
From behind there. A little reach in.
Yeah, that was a bailout foul.
Yeah.
You know, Vern, we used to play Bonnies when I was at Seton Hall.
Yeah.
And they used to put a mascot
Sure.
team in their casket when you visit it. And we were not having what I great year. It was something like 6 and 12, I guess.
Okay.
So that was one of my better
That's
ones.
when
I took the Pirate out.
Marquise Simmons and Michael Davenport, they were hurt.
No.
Well, maybe I shouldn't do this. I don't think the priest back in South Orange would like this. So we went out and took it on the chin and went home. And then I got the casket.
Marquise and Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
Remind me of a great
I
story.
know Marquise ripped his Achilles. What happened to Mike?
In Texas.
Shoulder.
His shoulder.
Oh, his shoulder. Yep, you're exactly right.
Yep.
Yep.
Shoulder.
Was that before the season started?
No, that was early in the season. That was at home.
Was it Arkansas? When we
I
played
think so, yeah.
I know Marquise hurt at the first game. Like 30 seconds in.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Mike's was right after that. Probably like
Really?
2 games or something like that.
And the
So with them out, who wasn't playing?
zoomed in and has got about 3 feet away. Sat up in the casket.
Yusu?
Dark suit.
It would have been Yusu and
Who would have been the guard?
Yusu.
Yusu played a lot towards the end.
You know what scares me? You knew the name.
I forget what game that really got him.
The guard would have been Jordan.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
It would have been Jordan.
Bonnies are playing.
That's that quick hit right there. It's a duck in.
Nice entry. And look at this.
Wow.
That's what hurt that particular
Damn.
team.
8 guys around you, Andrew. Yeah, well, the key is, you think about it, for 17 minutes, they scored 15 points.
Yeah.
And you look at the shots that they're hitting, only 1 or 2 have been uncontested. Everything else is, contested shots.
They're too swaggy right now. That's why. Now they're scared. Now it's too late.
How do you guys feel you were locked in defensively here for this first early part of the first game of this game?
We had a lot of urgency, as you can see. Like when they came in the paint, we were there. There wasn't anything. They weren't just coming in and playing, layup basketball. They had to earn their buckets, and we were rotating the right way. We were in our pack line, hands up. The length got them.
League rating is going to become important.
Yeah, I think what Drew said. I think we just executed, and we just.
Good.
I think that you knew that that extra man was there. Like you didn't feel like you was on the island. So I think that's an important part in defense. Like, and from the video, I mean, it's 8 years ago. It looked like we was communicating. That's a big thing.
See how that's a tough shot, but that's what you got to do there. We played really good. They're good players. They're going to make some shots. But as you guys say, a lot of people talk about, executing on offense, but it's just as important to execute on defense. There's things we're trying to do that we're executing properly.
Nice.
What a duck in.
That's tough.
Was that ever pretty?
That's tough.
Duck in.
Impeccable. Jordan gathers with the assist, number 5.
Oh, yeah.
Now
That's
has
execution. Offensive execution. That's how you draw it up.
With you
But see how Shalon is getting in, it's perfect pack line.
Yeah.
Support. See it? And that's
fouled.
we don't want to foul the jump shooter, but until that happened, that's perfect pack line defense. The guy's always attacking 2 or 3 guys. It's never, as Meach says, you're never on an island.
Enough traffic there to provide a little Walker.
And a moment ago, this was the Gather's pass.
I just love the timing of that play. Come from the wing, get a little bump, and the big guy
Which play was that?
presents himself.
That was Piston 2 runner.
Ah, okay.
Standing free throw shooter. 86% for the year, and he cans that one, so it's a 3-point play, and the margin is 11. 2:24 to go.
There's Piston action. This is Piston high now.
Nice.
Nisu.
And
You could have dunked that.
Yeah.
Not last.
Defender.
One leg of the
See the defense? Yusu's working inside.
Story.
Coming up
1
on
foot assassin. Everything was 1 foot.
balls on
There
the
we
Good
go. Here comes
D.
Look at this
Oh,
run out.
defense, man.
Pretty.
Oh, yeah. Give me
He got
that.
fouled, too.
Get back,
And
you
one.
Everyone. Look at
And
him.
one.
Stop the floor.
And 1.
Individual responsibility and good team defense coordinated. Look at this help. Unfortunately, the bang.
They're always attacking 2 guys.
Minutes he's provided.
Mark, let me ask you again about Yusu
Yeah.
and Jordan. I mean, here's back-to-back buckets by Yusu. You know, freshman, still pretty green, but gave you a big lift here at this point.
No question. Yusu was a big key. You know, he could guard ball screens. He had great size. You know, we could put Andrew at the 4 and go really big, the Twin Towers. Yusu came a long way. And it was, you give Andrew credit, but you give Yusu credit. It's funny, wherever Andrew was, Yusu was right behind him. Individual workouts, he really worked his tail off. Wherever he was, he mimicked him. And Yusu's, you know, he's smart. He saw that, you know, how good Andrew was, and he wanted to know how it was done. And Yusu, when we recruited him, people laughed at us, you know, but you see where he's coming, you know, whatever, 6 months. Big part. And Jordan was the same way.
Right.
You know, good defensive player. Now they're playing zone.
They played against UMass.
I forgot they played zone.
Oh,
They have to.
Great cut.
Look at
Yeah, that's when you know you got him. You know, when Xavier goes to zone, they never play zone.
Yeah, that's not their character right there.
No.
Conger on the receiving end and laid
And
it
you can
on.
see the crowd rising up, you know, looking for the one more stop.
See how Yusu moves his feet?
play some good D. If you're Xavier.
Those just jumping in there that day. Woo.
Look at that.
There's a ball on the floor again.
Too much bounce.
That's defense. Can't get better than that.
And another turnover.
A quick
Timeout.
timeout.
No.
Mark Schmidt,
It's
delighted.
the old use it or lose it timeout, right, Coach?
Yeah, exactly right.
Hit AC.
But it's defensively, that's how we're winning, you know, because of our pack line. The guys are really committed to each other. That's why we're winning.
That was one of the staples, right? Defense got to come every night. Offense is fickle.
Yeah, see that, Mitch? You got it. Offense is fickle. You live and die with your defense. That's the staple. See that, Mitch? You learned something.
See? I was listening.
I like
I was
it.
listening.
All right, so Coach, what's the call here at the
So
time?
we're gonna hold it for the last shot. You know, I would think we'll probably run a high ball screen.
I know the play.
What is it?
It's stack 5, but like longer. So I go to the corner.
The lungs
I'm
are
going
much
Oh, no, yeah.
It's
speared
stack
on.
5, but I'm going to the corner.
Bang. Pretty good read.
Yeah.
Man, we missed.
Yeah. Did you hear Matt?
Wait, what Matt said? I didn't hear him.
That was like, speak. Oh, man, my bad, Matt. My bad.
Yeah, we're running you off a stagger, Andrew.
Oh, the stagger. Okay.
Oh, man.
7:24, the lead at halftime. And as you head to the locker room, Andrew, I would imagine you feeling pretty good about yourself at this point, right?
I was just ready. Honestly, I was ready to get back out there because I didn't want to lose this momentum.
Sure.
But I was like, let this halftime be quick. Like, let's get back out there and roll back on the floor. I don't want to lose this mojo.
Meach, do you remember anything that was said by, like, amongst the players in the locker room? I know you can kind of guess what the coaches might say, but amongst yourselves, what did you talk about at halftime? Do you remember?
I don't remember it being too much conversation. I think everybody was thinking the same thing, but for the most part, it was like what Drew said, just trying to stay focused and just get back out there. I think we all knew, like, you know, not to get too high, you know, and just stay even kill, focus on what we got to do.
And welcome back to the Walk Halftime Stats brought to you
So, Coach, maybe you could take us through your thought process, and you obviously huddle up with your assistant coaches at halftime before you address the players. Maybe some of the things you talked about at halftime, and then keys for the second half in your mind.
Yeah, I always say, you know, no game is won at halftime. You know, we have 20 minutes. It's 0-0. You know, the same coach talk. It's just continue to do what we're doing. Don't get ahead of ourselves. You know, we got the lead because, one, we're sharing the ball. We have 13 assists. You know, we're taking care of the ball for the most part. We're getting the ball into positions, good positions to score. And then defensively, we just got to continue to do what we do. You know, the pack line, don't let those guards get off. You just try to re-emphasize those points that you made before the game. You know, don't relax. You know, we haven't won anything yet. You know, like, don't get ahead of yourself. Just, you know, take, you know, one possession at a time. You know, and we had veteran guys, and I think they understood that. You know, and you knew that, you know, Xavier's a good program. You knew they were going to come at us. You know, they were going to make a run, and that we need to be strong. We need to answer it, and I think we do. But it's just re-emphasizing the points, the keys to the game. You know, and as we talked about, you know, in the first half.
You know, he's the only guy who's shooing in first.
I would imagine, guys, with a 20 minutes between you and an NCAA berth, there's not too much that coaches have to say to keep you focused, is there?
Yeah, we're trying to get the ball inside to Andrew, throwback action.
Walker playing alone, a little help, and they got a foul on the big guy Nicholson. Nice help.
They did a good job of digging out, and
just faking
Andrew's a little bit soft with the ball there.
That is the foul.
Probably should have taken him out, but I didn't.
Get him out.
Lions and Will.
I messed that one up. I was pissed about that one.
Slow, and they do a
Now
nice
we're Lanin 53 or whatever his number is.
post up guy.
Hey.
See, Freeze was waiting for Andrew. Where is he?
And the rebound comes down for St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, this is why Chris Mark is it's a matter of these guys doing it now.
We're running this stuff a lot of the piston action, throwbacks.
Nicholson, yes.
It is. Stay pop.
He's a little more mobile.
That's what made, when you have big guys that can shoot, that offense is really effective.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
You know, everybody's in the paint. Doing a really good job. See that? Every time they go, we got people there.
Hey.
Nicholson, that's his second block in the game.
Getting no lane to the basket at all.
Season.
See that?
Juice of the bounce.
We couldn't have played better. It's amazing, you know, watching this game. I didn't think we were that good defensively. We couldn't have played better, right, guys? Defensively.
Yeah, defensively.
God,
Defensively, he was there.
they couldn't get the ball below the foul line.
Empty the backside.
I didn't even realize that defensively until we went back and watched it. Like watching it now, like.
Give me.
You look at that. We were just swarming the ball.
Daquan Cook, 75%.
We made most of our foul shots too. That was, as you guys know, in close games, that's the key.
St. Bonaventure team.
I think we're the number one foul shooting team in the league.
Hard nose.
Tough-minded. Blue collar.
This is
those free throws really helped us.
Yeah, I think we shot 76% for the team for the year, which is really good. See how we're moving? Look at that.
Lions
Look
too
at
far
this team.
underneath. Wow. Here comes Gathers, blind pass,
Smart.
Conger.
Don't need it.
Oh, boy.
Good
And it was
hustle.
saved, yeah.
Charlotte on the money.
I thought Chuck was running with me, man.
Yeah.
I thought Chuck was trying to get him another dunk.
Let's talk a little bit.
Schmidt's
guys.
yelling.
It's number 3.
Schmidt's yelling. Look what happened.
Get him out. Yep.
Or Charlin, the sophomore.
He should have shot that one.
What were you doing that for?
I thought he was going to the basket, so I thought that was an easy layup.
I would have let it fly.
Play I love that they run a ball screen, and then they run the.
Joe and Lanin staying in the paint.
That's used to want to play like that. Nice penetration, and once again, the formidable obstacle, Nicholson negating.
You can't get to the rim.
You know, you just stay
there.
They can't get to the rim.
Yeah.
a little soft pass to Freeze going to the box.
It's the duck in. When you start, as you guys know, once you start pump faking, you know.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
You got him.
And the tournament. Back outside, Mosley.
How smart is Demitrius, too? Twice he slowed down. A little shot clock on 0. That was a quick trip.
Ah.
Shot clock trick. Okay, I know that. They do that in China all the time. Yeah.
But look, watch your shot fakes. You know. Look.
Yeah.
He got no chance.
What an upside, attitude-wise.
They definitely do that overseas a lot.
His
Do
growth.
they really?
Oh, yeah.
During the course of his career.
The club I was with, we're notorious for starting the clock late. Like if the game's close and like the other team has it, the home team will start the clock late when they're advancing the ball. So there's like 4 seconds left. That 4 seconds is 7 seconds. And you see the clock. You see it. It's like it's not moving. It's still not moving. Okay, we know what they're doing.
Hey, home court advantage.
Yeah.
Man, cheating.
Conger, number 11. Kind of a quiet day compared to his first 2 games. And having said that, in and out.
Jeez.
I think on Walker, on Cook, but Nicholson, it's his day. Leave Atlantic City empty.
That shot was supposed to go in. So good.
He will bid adieu to the Musketeers, just in the right spot each time. The presence magnificent. Putting this team on his shoulders.
From Canada, Mississauga, in the Toronto area.
He's played frequently.
Whips it back outside.
He had him in the box, too.
Gathers comes across the lane.
What you like about this team, the others know how to play.
Okay.
One.
There you go.
Patience.
Kick.
Daquan Cook jumper from the elbow. No.
They played good defense this season.
Over the back.
They got fouled.
But they couldn't finish it off.
His hand was pulled.
I think they got Walker. Let's make sure.
Chris,
Against
Oh, he's stressed.
He got their attention.
Oh, yeah.
the offensive end,
It's tripping.
offensively, terrific.
He was just trying to wear me down all game.
Here's the gut action. Over the top.
Screen and
Pick and
pop.
pop.
And Cook banks.
We've missed them a couple times.
Oh, no.
Ah.
And Lions has it into the hands of Walker.
Gotta get back. Gotta get back.
See, this is when they're good. That's when they're good. When they numbers. We did a good job so far.
Holloway
Keeping
knew.
them to a 5-on-5 game.
Low key, that move was tough though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's tougher when it's only one-on-one.
Transition, that's tough.
Yeah.
Matthew Wright will come on, replacing Gathers.
He plays with a lot of confidence, Matthew, doesn't he? Just a good attitude.
Ah.
Great plays.
Ah,
On the
they
inbound,
got us.
Taylor gets 2.
Will they punish you? Oh, not a good look here. One of the few mistakes Nicholson's made.
Take them out.
Thought he had Wright. Did not. Lions all the way.
That's turnovers, and that's when they get numbers. That's when they're really good.
Run to the
Yeah.
Damn.
They will not get out easy, Bonnies, if they get out.
Well, this is making a huge run, too.
Down the
We're a little
road,
bit stagnant now.
talent.
They're not moving.
Nah, I should have swung that back.
Yeah.
So,
Juan's got a flash. Yeah.
Yep.
Stagnant.
defense
Trying to force it. Man,
Again, stagnant.
Well, the last basket cut the margin to 13.
That might be the easiest basket right there.
Kind of a little bit of a slow start for us. Anything that Xavier was doing differently in the second half early?
Well, I thought, we turned the ball over a couple times, and they got them out. The break got numbers. They got to the basket. They just ran a play there, an isolation play. They get into the basket on us offensively, and I thought we're getting a little bit stagnant offensively. See how we're standing around. We got to get some more action.
Well, they'll ride the guards a lot. Little fadeaway, that's a tough shot.
And a little shove off underneath. They got the one.
So we're just getting
A little nudge at the
we're
back.
not moving. We got to get some more stuff off of our defense. They're taking care of the ball a little bit better.
A quick substitution. He'll bring in Endoy.
Who played well.
Yes, he did.
Did a nice job.
So 3 fouls on DeQuan. Is that an automatic take him out, Mark?
Yeah, 3 fouls with 15 minutes left. Yeah, give him a couple minutes. And like I said, I had confidence in Yusu. I thought Yusu really gave us. Quan was effective, but I thought we didn't lose much, especially when you put Andrew at the 4. And with this lineup,
Curl around the 2.
Yusu could guard those big guys.
To the rim or
Now they're making some shots. Now they're getting some momentum. Now it's really important for us to be able to answer them.
Not unanswered for Xavier.
they're running their action now. They had gotten away from it.
Endoy.
Sellout gives an open look.
On a rebound. Holloway went up.
Should have got back to you quicker, Meach.
This is late.
Yeah.
Now they're getting more to the rim. This is a good play by Yusu. Charge.
Anxious without
Great
the big
play by Yusu.
They do just a nice job. They fake that, and now they'll come back this way and get the pin. That is pretty
I don't know
basic.
why they were laughing. They've been flopping all game.
I think
This is
so.
legit charge.
Pull a bounce pass or get that pin down. What a
What's
nice.
that?
That's
That's
because
the,
Xavier is like, oh, it's not a charge. They know flopping all game.
Bonnie's a
Yeah.
shots.
it is
Here comes diagonal action, trying to post up Meach.
pretty overzealous and trying to steal it, have them cough it up.
We've lost some momentum. We got to get it back.
Tried
Yeah.
to find Conger in the lane. 41-33, 13:25 to go. Here's Wright.
Yeah, we're too stagnant. We're not cutting.
Right.
Right on. Wow.
Too strong.
Now they're getting out in the break. This is when they're at their best.
Foul.
Boy, they are great
Oh,
initiating.
wow. That's a tough call.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
2 and maybe 3. They're never at it with this backcourt.
And a little nervousness. Mark Schmidt pacing up and down as the Bonnies were up 17. And the margin is now 7.
I mean, but Xavier's a good team, though. Like,
Shake up.
I don't think you just gonna blow them out in a championship game. Like,
You're exactly right.
they was bound to make a comeback.
If someone says, let's start the game, 13 minutes left, you're up by 6, you take that every time.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not in bad shape, even though, we lost a little bit of lead. We just got to answer these suckers.
The fight.
Yeah.
Here comes the cross screen.
No. And they got Lyons with a reach-in
We need
foul.
to get,
I
we need
will
a
say one
basket
thing
back.
though. We've been like through all this. Like,
Tonight, he's going to have to
I would
stay.
say we held our composure.
Mhm.
I would say we held our composure pretty good. Like,
Endoy.
we had our moments, but
Yeah, we haven't taken any really bad shots.
For St. Bonaventure.
yeah.
You have to
We
reach
just
the
need, we need to get to the foul line. We need an easy one.
NCAA tournament berth goes to the winner.
Well, terrific defense. Nice slip pass. And the hands on top. Lions 3.
Yep.
That's what we needed. Now he gets 2 foul shots. Hopefully Andrew makes them.
It
wasn't the right approach.
The whole game, like he's not even on help defense. He's just like that's how they were trying to take me out. I mean,
Yep.
I barely had any like low post moves on this game because they were all just sitting there. They did a good job scouting that way. But that opened it up for everybody.
Yep.
So Lyons remains on the floor with 3 fouls, and D. Davis is on to replace Holloway.
I got a kick out of Lyons' nickname.
See, that helps. That breaks some momentum now. You know.
For different reasons.
Those are the first points.
You guys talked about composure, and obviously, we talked going back into the regular season, like that St. Joe's double overtime game, which was a kind of a must-win type of situation. And the 2 games, or the quarterfinal and the semifinal, both very close games. I would imagine those experiences helped you in this game, right?
Definitely. I think we had a lot of games, like you mentioned, like the close games, the double overtime games. Like those games definitely help you, like when it come to times like this,
Either
I would say
curl or pop.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been in this situation before, and as I said, we talked at halftime, it's like you knew they were going to make a run. We just had, and Meach says our composure was decent.
Get a touch to the big guy.
Still the stretch with Cook on the bench after picking up his 3rd foul. Yep. Indoy still in the game.
Yep. Just defense by Xavier.
2 on the shot clock. Off the mark.
Good rebound. Hey.
Big one.
Big time. Power to the 10.
He needed that.
That was big. Got the crowd back into it too.
I'm out.
CBS coverage of the Atlantic 10 continues after this message and a word from your local station.
Yeah, from his win.
When you're playing a good team like Xavier, like you can't get too antsy. You know what I mean? So, we know they're a great team, and the progress that we're doing right now in the game, like we have some confidence. So we're like, just take it easy. Let's bring it back a little bit, and let's just play our game. Let's try to get some easy. What we're trying to do.
So, Coach, a little breather here for Andrew as he goes to the bench. You just want to give him a little spell here in the second half?
Yeah. Give him a couple minutes. Up by 10, we weathered the storm. And like I said, we have confidence in those other guys. Quan's now going to come in, and we're going to slide Yusu to the 5 and give Andrew a little bit of a breather, and then he goes the rest of the. Once we put him back in, he goes the rest of the way.
And Daquan Cook with 3 fouls. There are actually 2 other Bonnies with 3. Kloof and Jordan Gathers also have 3.
Nice.
Oh, Freese on the inbound.
They do a good
blocked
job.
by Yusu.
They really have to be alert. Face the ball to the corner.
Try to eye him again.
Yusu Endai.
I think Bonnie's done a great job making the guards play.
Andrew, what were the biggest things you taught Yusu, that freshman year of his?
Just the stamina.
Honestly, just to be a pro. Like, don't be late for class. Don't be late for workouts. And just, absorb everything around you. I mean, just I tried to be a good example for him. Showing them that I was never late for anything. I was in class and stuff, right? And then just whatever questions and stuff he had, he'd always ask me because, we were roommates as well, too, all year, right?
And
so just being there to lead by example.
Isn't that mistake, though?
Mark, let me ask you about your point guard rotation. You played mostly Kloof in almost even minutes. That was pretty much the rotation throughout the season, though, right?
Yeah, they both brought different things. Eric could really score, shoot the ball. Shalon was much more of a leader, defensive player, stopper. So you try to play both of them. Sometimes we played during the season. We played Eric sometimes at the 2, off the ball. With Shalon. So they were good because they were different players, and they brought a different skill set to the game.
Opportunities, the bigger they are, the more special he is.
Here it starts to tighten up again, guys. Another fast break opportunity. Xavier converts, and just like that, it's back down to 5-point game.
Exactly right. But watch our guys. Like I said, we don't overreact. We're not pointing fingers at each other. We're just
team and the Atlantic.
Getting ready for the next play.
At this point, I think we can beat these guys.
And just like that,
they're like, we can beat these guys. No problem. We just stay poised, stay confident.
What's been the reason for the turnaround?
I just think good defense. They've taken Nicholson out of the game a little bit.
Me?
This one, what a comeback. That is pretty
We
good.
answered. That's a huge play by Meach. But that's how we answered. You know, we didn't.
Big guy.
We ran our offense. Meach made a great play.
Demitrius, talk about what you see here.
Up opportunities.
It just opened up. It opened up, and then the guy came over to the right side, spin, and then, foul and one, and then just focus on making the layup. Making the free throw.
Yeah, it's become a ball game, but we're running our offense. We're looking inside.
Little deny.
Yeah, just wrestling down, just wrestling. Like, my God.
Rebound. And a chance to get within.
This time I started to get a little frustrated.
We'll go right to the rim, Freeze. There he is. Got to present himself.
Good D.
Fronting him for the moment. Under 9 to go. There's Freeze.
Screen and roll. Good kick.
Davis for 3. Not there. On the floor, DeQuan Cook.
Nice.
Clean up the boards.
Yeah, we're limiting the one shot. They're making some shots, but they're not getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
Can't be hesitant. And Walker just continues to do a great job. And look at Freeze sort of doubling.
Yeah.
Don't have to play Cook that far out.
Walker fronting Nicholson. Here's the jumper off the glass.
A hold, nice
rebound, and
it's like wrestling inside, Andrew. It's WWE.
All he's doing.
Pointing over there. What he was saying is bring the ball down and get it to number.
Just wrestling.
It's not Jerry West.
Picking up fouls. I think he picked up another dumb foul and coming up really soon. Out of bounds.
the line today for Nicholson.
That's how you win games at the foul line.
This kid really.
No.
Andrew, do you know what you wound up at the foul line this game? You remember?
They were perfect, didn't they?
10 for 10.
10 for 10. Gotta make them pay.
Yep.
Gotta make them pay.
And the margin is 7 with 8:21 to go. Mentioned St. Bonaventure, an outstanding free throw shooting team, 76 for the year in this ball game. They're 11.
Hey,
That's how we won.
it's an outstanding free throw shooting team.
Through they got the deflection, but they are banging in that box area. Double post.
It's really physical, as you can tell.
Double post. It reminds me of Lefty Drizel when he was coaching.
You know, Mark, we've talked a lot about the interior play for obvious reasons, but, you know, you said, Xavier, best backcourt in the A-10. You got Kloof, Mosley, Gathers, Wright with a big time trying to slow those guys down. Obviously, they have Andrew protecting the rim behind them, but still a big job for those four guys.
Yeah, we did a really good job, and they did a good job of, we talk about guarding your yard, 3 feet to the right, 3 feet to the left, and then you get to your help. And I thought our guys really defense. And it was really Andrew's mad.
What is that? Like, what is that?
That's a bad call.
And I banged my knee on the floor, too. Like, what is this? Beat it up. I come down, I get the foul.
I
think they call travel.
Amazing.
Man,
Give another wrong.
I look a little clumsy, Drew.
They get cooked.
Look a little clumsy there.
Listen, that shouldn't have been my foul.
So Matthew,
Still, we don't lose our composure.
Gathers with fouls at the guard spot for
working. Here comes Matt Wright in. Our substance, guys coming off the bench, they did a really good job. And
not his strong point.
We were mentioning others, right? 53.
Yeah, he hit 2 big ones yesterday, though.
He does have a nice stroke, though.
Yeah, and he hits a big one here.
It's interesting.
In this game, Andrew played just all but 1.5 minutes. Demitrius, you played 39 minutes, but the other guys were in a pretty balanced in terms of in and out substitutions.
Yeah, that's how we've done it the whole year. You know, Andrew and Meach played a lot of minutes. And those other guys, I think Shalon and as you said, Eric shared the point guard and Matt and Gathers shared the two. It's really, I think with when Mike went out, and Mike Davenport got hurt, it gave Meach even more minutes. And then, Chris Johnson got in foul trouble and he didn't play as much in this game.
1 point.
We weren't afraid. We had a lot of depth. Good pass.
There. Nice chase down. Matthew Wright.
Good rebound.
Nicholson, he kicks it out. They got to let him repost again.
Robinson's on him now. And he's
nice help here on the post.
Conger.
Sheesh. That was a bailout pass.
Demitrius, with Andrew getting so much attention from the Xavier defense, obviously you still want to try to get him the ball. How do you, though, stay somewhat patient, not force it?
One Cook has it taken away, but
you just
on the rebound,
just take your time and just try to use your basketball IQ to make the best decision, and know that you don't have to rush it. I mean, we have a whole 35 seconds, so you definitely could take your time with it.
Chris Mack has rotated his
like
ball, have them fresh coming down the stretch with Davis out there.
And on top of all that, I mean, the clock is in our favor.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Yeah. Now we want to get a good shot coming out of the timeout.
I kind of remember towards the end that they were really like neck and neck with us, but I know Matt hit a big shot that really put us.
Oh yeah. There's a big shot here. Damn.
No.
And there's the kick.
That's a good coming out of a timeout. That's the shot. Andrew did a good job kicking the ball out. That's an open shot. That's good offense.
Slips. Another block. That's 7 blocks. And the ball goes out of bounds. Another St.
I should have held that one, man.
He should have kept it.
Yeah.
But still up 6 minutes to go to win the first A-10 championship. We're in a good position.
And statistically, here's where we stand. St. Bonaventure leads by 5.
See you, Drew. 20 ball.
On South. This half.
10 of them free throws.
Has led to of their lead.
Free throws, 2 threes.
Hubert Humphrey.
20.
Revere you here.
10 for 10.
You know who else?
Not a great offensive game, but we're winning because we're playing defense. That's the key. That's the key.
Here.
The whole Xavier to 45 points.
No.
That's a great team effort.
Part of the original NFL Today on CBS with Brent, right? Brent, Jimmy the Greek, and Herb Cross.
Herb's a terrific guy.
Yep.
Full eagle.
Taylor.
What do you got out of the timeout? You always like to see that. Well, stepping up. He loves that floater. And look at the position. Oh,
wow.
He walked.
Andre Walker, turn around. They missed
Good
it.
help, Quan.
They got to walk here. And they got a trip underneath.
There you go,
Andrew's
Drew.
down again.
There you go. See?
You try to take me out. You try to take me out.
Uh-huh.
Like that.
Bang the floor.
Bang my knee.
With those.
Now we're going to the foul line, get some more free points.
Hell yeah.
A lot of cushions out there.
I think you might need another ice bath, Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
Jamie Lucky.
Look at how long our shorts are.
Oh, the good old days.
Jeez.
No, I could never do that. You can't do it between the legs.
I know. Look.
All of it caught, man.
Yeah.
Boy, is that soft.
Seriously, this is the game. This is how we win now. I don't know how many more buckets we get, but it's the free throws. It's the free throws. And that's that. We talk about all the time. That's that mental toughness.
You see, Drew, you started with Son on the offensive rebounds. Now he's sitting there doing it to me right now. Look.
8 of 8.
Yeah.
See?
Do the same thing.
Yep.
And an automatic spot. And the NCAA tournament goes to the winner. That's St. Bonnie's only hope of getting in is a championship victory here. Xavier, Seth Davis reminding us he believes already in.
Save.
This conference, I think St. Louis have earned the right to get in.
I agree. Lions with those four just saving him. Nice lot. What a Walker, huh?
Yeah.
That would have been a thunder dunk.
Big fella. Xavier just hanging around, I think, trying to get at that 4-minute slot.
Here comes Twist.
Great.
Comes Twist.
Yeah.
Nicholson.
Well, Walker worked hard through those screens.
Yes, he did.
Drop step. Nice hands.
Hell ball. Possession arrow. Xavier.
Why Buddy grabbed me like that, man?
Shows that ticker
Why
is.
Buddy grabbed me like that?
See?
Now this is scouting. Turner, you know he's going to come across. He brings the ball. You got to whip it and go low.
Yo, Drew, is that scouting?
It's
Is that
That's lucky.
Not gonna wait. He's
That's lucky. I grip on my left hand. Damn. They got it right. They got it right. I always come back.
playing. Holloway.
Always come back.
Walker.
Oh, man.
Starting 5 for Xavier. Error-free basketball almost. Look at this.
He's amazing. Now they were running.
Oh.
It's up for him. You don't need it.
From the corner.
You don't
Crazy shots. They're panicking.
Yeah, those
Foul.
And Lions head outside.
shouldn't have
Let's
jumped.
look at this after 8 years later and say, man, there's two teams that really got after each other in this game, right?
Stuff.
Yeah.
Such
Really?
good.
Yeah, it definitely was a
Get that one.
grind. Definitely had to grind it out,
Absolutely.
Here's Max going to his
and they
bench.
did not make it easy.
There wasn't a lot of possessions in this game. Every possession counted.
Of course.
Yep.
That's a rarity.
Needed that.
And Mark
I don't know what they shot from the foul line, but
Davis back on.
It doesn't matter
if
how
I remember right, that we outscored them by a number of points.
That bench is like dead.
Yeah.
He's been down the road before. I'm sure he knows.
We outscored Xavier by 8 at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Within yourself. You're very talented.
Hey.
Here comes diagonal.
A stagger double and another.
Charlotte Kloof. Up.
Tough
Off the
shot.
glass. Yes. Offensive board. DeQuan Cook. Short. Chase down in the
Freeze.
corner. St. Bonaventure.
Working.
That's our way. That's our way. That's our way.
Sit.
Fresh 35. 4:29 to go.
Okay, these refs have done a
See,
nice job.
I told you, Coach, a whole new 35.
Yep.
That's
You're right.
tiring.
You're right. We can get this thing down to under 4 minutes.
Look at this guy.
See, that's
Why
what
would you do that? Why would he do that?
particularly like
Not smart.
ball. But you have to.
Yeah.
It's sort of a shame.
Yo, Drew, was you talking to him?
Yeah, I was talking to him.
I'm sure. I think he would agree with
No,
that.
you're weak as hell, man. Stop this wrestling stuff.
Who shot the McCrory's basement?
Was that the PG version of what you said?
Yeah. I tried to throw that at him.
You missed him.
This all game, this punk is holding, grabbing, touching. I'm like, oh, God.
14.
Maybe that was a scout report. Get you out the
Oh,
game.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
What's the takeover?
Lions back on the floor.
Nice pass.
Oh, it's a beautiful feed to Freese. Rejected.
7 is out?
He couldn't get anything off.
You know,
He's triple shot faking.
yeah.
Triple-double. With 4.
Now the free throw line again.
Nicholson.
I think
Watch
it was,
this. 1, 2.
Used to do this with frequency. You remember Marvin Webster?
That's a quick second jump. I see you.
How does he get you off your feet, Andrew, and you still come back and block his shot?
I don't know. I was just at this point. I was like, I'm putting it all out there. I'm jumping for everything.
Rebound.
See, look, the ref ain't even call that push off. I got you, Matt.
Timeout by Chris
That was a push-off.
Time call. On the NCAA.
All right, guys, I know it's been 8 years, but what do you recollect about this last media timeout, last full timeout? What was said on the bench in the huddle?
Has earned a spot.
What was said, Drew?
Mark Schmidt.
I guess they don't like the game's not over right now. The game's not over. We got another 4 minutes to go. Just play it like it's 0-0. And I think that's what we did.
Maybe not as quickly as.
Just want to get good shots. Good shots.
Yeah.
Penetration.
How about this?
Beautiful.
How
Great
about
move.
Wow.
Good tape.
to the
Good
chin?
tape.
That's good coming out of the timeout, getting a layup.
Out of the lane.
Andrew, see how that it's always 2-on-1.
I don't like to see
We need to show our team,
Rebound.
next
Nicholson.
year's team, this clip. This game. Seriously. This is Packline at its best.
See? You see the fans?
Now we're feeling it.
Look at that crowd go now.
Conger's had a quiet game today.
Man, it's got me nervous. I'm about to drop the ball out of bounds and everything. So I see.
Made that last basket.
It's the fake.
Watch out.
This 5 check.
Now,
There we go.
Get a bucket.
clean by Wells. Long pass. Wells has it. Right is back.
How about
Oh,
that? For the Euro step.
I can call that push-off, ref.
5-6.
14 turnovers now. And that
Getting
one
nervous.
costly. Yep. Timeout, St. Bonaventure. 2:31 to go.
Well, back in Mississauga, he is
All right,
big.
so 6-point game here, 2.5 left.
Nights.
Obviously, we got a good shot of the timeout. Do you remember what you were talking about, Coach, or what you maybe had?
Yeah. You want to, reassure the guys that we're all right, first of all, and then, we need to get a basket. We need to, run a good set, and we run right here. I'm not the smartest guy, but you want to get your best offensive play of the ball. So here we run stack five check. As they were double teaming or triple teaming Andrew. We wanted to get him away from the basket. So this is called stack 5 high. Right here.
Gave me some chapstick.
I think.
Your action.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
standing.
stack 5 high right here. Huh?
Nicholson.
Swing it. Get him away from the basket. It's a great move.
And a
That's
basket.
tough.
From the
Whoa.
bench by Mark. Get him up. The bigger guy just can't maneuver with his flexibility. Wow. Put it
Gotta
on
get
the
your best player of the ball.
You've done it all. Negated shots. Stepped outside. The blow by with alacrity. Nail it.
Looks like you were pretty determined just to go up and over freeze there, right, Andrew?
Oh, for sure. I was just locked in, man. I was locked in.
They have led almost from the get-go. They lead by 8, and Kenny Freeze, the senior, is at the line.
Ooh.
Bonus. That
That's
was
called an air ball.
You can close the window, man.
It's breezy here by the ocean.
Forgot about that one, son. Oh, man.
See, our Bonaventure fans in the background were enjoying that a little bit.
See, this is about the part where I started hearing everybody.
That's
So that air ball really caught my attention. I was like, wow, they're not locked in.
And they will bring the heat, Vern. Look at the rotation.
They're not locked in right now.
Still 7-point game with 2 minutes to go.
Let it go.
Now it's like we just got to take care of the basketball. If we do what we're supposed to do, we win this game. Make our free throws. They're going to have to start the foul.
That helps Nicholson.
This is stack 5 check. This is a big shot.
jumper.
That's a big shot.
Oh, look at that pivot.
That's the game winner right there.
That's very
You're right. That's the game winner.
That very good.
Yep.
Reese on the feed. One Cook. Foul on Booker.
Now I started hearing it. This is where I really started
A
hearing it.
lot of things
That's
happen
tough.
to get you into the NCAA tournament. A lot of it is the proper education and the intestinal fortitude of these young people.
Gives you chills today.
It's just a terrific deep shooter stepping up in a magnificent fashion.
What a time. What a time.
He is fellow Canadian, fellow to Nicholson. Matthew Wright.
So it just sounds like you guys are starting to sense it now at this point, right? Especially as you said, you could start to really feel it from the crowd.
Like everybody else,
I'm starting to feel the energy now.
Decent free throw shooter.
Yeah, I mean, as hell.
I mean, you can see everybody in the crowd still standing up in the background, like
placing Kenny Freeze,
3-point shooter, you know.
Yeah, and in this shot, you can't see a lot of our fans because they're right behind the bench, or behind the basket, rather.
Yeah.
92 shots.
This is like, you know, as a coach, it's like you're telling you guys, one more stop.
Yeah.
Daquan Cook with 1:23 to go.
There you go. Good stroke. There we get the timeout.
Timeout, St. Bonaventure. They lead by 10.
When you feel it.
Out of bounds. And then Matthew.
There's a big party in the stands, though.
Way, you know,
And deservedly, he got our first onions of the year.
And scoring quickly now. Who better than this guy, Lyons? And they don't go away. Ooh, that offensive foul on Lyons.
I didn't know this either.
He's out of the game.
Yep.
You can't.
What's he doing?
Valuable to this team.
You can't do that.
Look at his arms.
what did he do?
What?
He pushed off. He got just Matthew or something. What?
Oh, my
I know there's a little reaction, but why?
And they did check to see if
So
this.
again, a case of composure, guys. You know, I have to give credit. I mean, Andrew, you could have easily lost your composure a bunch of times when those guys clutching and grabbing you, and you never did.
Yeah.
The line. Now he's the least proficient.
Flag,
St. Bonaventure, 64% for the year.
game.
Shot.
New day, huh? This is, if they win this.
Floof winds up 4 for 4 at the line. He goes 9 points, 3 assists. Kind of one of those, you know, quiet day, but you know, again, another key for us. Wouldn't you agree, Coach?
No question. And the numbers really don't reflect, you know, his defense on those guards. You know, he just played a steady game like he did, you know, the whole year.
Refuses it. Look at this kid finish. Magnificent. Same hand change, strength to the rim.
Soft foul there.
Screen.
They have to call one.
Play. The ability to finish, too.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Nah, he definitely got you. He definitely jumped into you.
Man.
Offense for defense. Offense, I should say.
Jeff Robinson.
Never over.
Holloway with 7 points in the game.
Nice speed, Charlie to get free. Lead him to someone in trap.
Hit from behind, and they got Holloway with that one.
Boy, how about believing in yourself and coming down here and doing the job by St. Bonnie's?
Yes.
Eddie Donovan will be so happy. Passed away, his sweetheart, later on the Knickerbocker coach. Eddie Melvin back in the 50s. A friend of mine, Kenny Murray, used to play for them. I mean, just unbelievable.
Thank God they're just like.
And here's the young man.
Panic basketball gets you
And Hall. And he cancels for the afternoon.
We just make him play.
St. Bonaventure is now 19 of 22 at the line. Redford on time has been called.
There you go.
Guys, so the strategy here, just try keep them from getting something easy, right, guys?
Yeah, make it really hard for him. No layups. Make it really hard. You know, this is like, as a coach, this is when you know it's, you know, you feel it now.
Well,
You know, where it's, you know, you got 38 seconds and
wrap it on.
you're feeling good. But as a coach, you're never comfortable. You know, up whatever, 38 seconds. You know, you're just making sure that the guys are still concentrating. You know, make these 2 foul shots, get one more stop.
I gotta ask you, we've barely seen Chris Johnson, but here he is taking 2 free throws.
Chris is a good player. He got 2 quick fouls in the first half, and
Another of the
but
excellent.
we had unselfish guys, and that's why we won. No one really cared who got the credit. It was just we wanted to win. That's it. That's when you know.
22 of 25 as a team. And here's a Xavier bunch They played such good basketball, they've only turned it over 6 times in the game. But
That was it.
That's it right there. Yep. That's
I would
where we
imagine
go.
right there in the game, you probably allowed yourself to start thinking about that trophy, right, guys?
number 4.
Yeah, that's when the party started, man. That's when everybody started. You see the fans going like that? Yep.
Class act by Chris.
When they stop pressing right there, that's the best feeling in the world. I told somebody I wish everybody had that feeling that I had. You know, that sense of accomplishment and you see the players, and that's what coaching's about. It's like seeing those players celebrate like that. That's
2000, their last time in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh man.
How about that?
Incredible. Kids that people think are compliments. I don't
Oh man.
know. They are basketball players that absolutely know how to play team basketball, and a guy who put it together. Mark.
Yo, Drew, did you say anything to your buddy or nah?
After he
I just shook his hand and smiled, man.
score.
Shook his hand and smiled. Took care of business.
Coming up next, Ohio State, Michigan State. We'll take you to Greg Gumbel in New York right after these messages.
doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing.
It still gives you goosebumps. It gives me goosebumps.
Amazing, man.
Guys, I'm just going to let you reflect on and enjoy watching this celebration. You probably haven't had a chance to do since you've been overseas, but take a look at that. Maybe just remember some of the emotions going through your mind back in 2012.
I mean, it was just surreal. Like, it was just one of those, like, in the moment things where, like, you can't even really put it into words. Like, you just, like, I don't know, like, you just want to stay there for the rest of your life. Like, it's one of those type of moments, like, definitely a highlight in life. I would say that, especially in basketball.
I'd love to go back to that, man. Oh,
You got it. Then I'll get Mark. I'll give him
it's
a
like
couple.
we did. It's like all the work we put in through like the summertime and all the individuals.
6 a.m.s.
6 a.m. It's amazing. Our accomplishments came. Like we did it.
Let's listen to your interview. See how you do.
Just down. A couple of more blocks, you would have
I
to
wasn't
turn.
really
What'd you do wrong?
I don't know what we all did this, man. This is very emotional right now. This is what I came here for.
How about the call where they got you out on top late in the game and you drove to the back? Pretty good set for you.
Yeah. It was an isolation play we run all the time. So, it was pretty good.
This game, what was your anticipation?
Like interviews, clear.
They're a tough team. They're great defensively. They play good defense on me and all of us, but we persevered.
Were you totally committed as a team?
100%.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your coach here. Coach, unbelievable. Have you gotten over it yet?
No, I can't believe it. I'm just so proud of our guys and how hard they played and excited for them. You know, where we've come 5 years ago to this point is just it's a miracle. And the way they played tonight, you know, Andrew was just terrific. He's carried us for 4 years, and just a proud moment for us and in our school.
When you took that job, what did you think? I mean, a tough road ahead, and how did you deal with it?
You know, Skip Prosser, he's my guy, and you know, he told me it's like, you know, we played up there, you know, about 4 or 5 years prior, and they beat us at the buzzer, and it was a crazy place. And I was going back to Buffalo, and I told Skip, and that's the loudest place I've ever been. And when I was looking at the job, Skip says, you know something? Remember what you said? And he told me that they had some tradition. It's not a graveyard. You know, go up there and try to turn it around. And God bless them.
Great job. Congratulations. Kids played beautifully. You're dancing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
There you go. Get a chance to cut down the nets. Demitrius, I mean, obviously your goal as a college basketball player is to make the NCAA tournament, to get to that point. Again, you talked about some of the emotions, but that obviously for you, it's the pinnacle, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's one of those things where, you just, I don't know, like even like to this day, me and Charline, we talk pretty frequently, and like that just randomly come up in, conversation, just, you remember that, that one time Atlantic City. So, I mean, it's good to have those type of memories, especially with your college career,
I just remember this feeling like we're like it's a brotherhood there, man. Like we were together for all those years, and we did it. We conquered the look at him. We conquered the A-10. A-10 champion.
Oh man.
Mark, if you could, I mean, obviously this win really set up the program for future success. I guess it's easy to say that now, looking back on the success we've had, since 2012. But really, it was a hard point to get to this point, and that's now laid. Wouldn't you agree?
No question. These guys, they set the foundation. They started it all. And as I said in the interview, 5 years prior, the program wasn't in great shape, and a lot of people said that we couldn't do it. It couldn't be rebuilt, and we did it. And that was a culmination. Just the smiles on those guys' faces and the sense of accomplishment. It was a special day. It really was. And you look at it, 8 years later, and the reason why we're at now is what those guys did on that night. To win the first Atlantic 10 championship in the school's history, and with what the school had gone through, and it was just really special. And Demitrius said it all. I think this is a memory that will last a lifetime. You'll always, when these guys are 60, 70, 80 years old, they'll think about this moment, and that's what sport is all about, and that's what a team is all about. And it's just I was proud to be their coach, and just watching it now and the smiles, and it's a special thing. Who would have thought when Andrew came or Demetrius came that this would happen? Everybody has that dream, but how many dreams really come true?
Yeah.
But that the dream that we had, because of what they did, that dream came true, and it will be something that no one ever can take away from them.
It's amazing.
Really,
obviously, it's been we've been in the Atlantic 10 for 40 plus years. St. Bonaventure has. We've had one A-10 tournament title. Unfortunately, we wish we had more, but you guys deserve everybody's thanks and respect for getting us that one. So it was a team effort. It was everybody, the school, the administration, our boosters, the assistant coaches, the trainers. It was everybody. It takes, as we always say, it takes a village to raise a kid. It, takes a whole school, that's dedicated to getting this done, and that's what happened. And like I said, that they set it up for for what we've done since then. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Coach Schmidt, Demitrius, Conger, Andrew Nicholson. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us to relive the 2012 A-10 championship. It's been an awful lot of fun. Thank you for what you did in all those years in this 3-day run in Atlantic City for St. Bonaventure basketball and all its fans. Thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And thank Demetrius and Andrew. Thanks.
Yeah,
no problem.
Great.
Thanks for the memories. It was great.
That was amazing, man.
Appreciate it.
That was good.